Nick, where are ya? I don't think Nick made it to the end. Did he? Where is he in his drum? Nick, where are you? Where's your drum, mate? Here he is. Go on, Nacho! Woo! We are the people, we are the power, we are the 99%. Thank you everyone for coming today. I hope you've had a joyful and wonderful, uplifting day, standing, fighting, uplifting the world's vibration, standing with your fellow brothers and sisters, fighting for your future, fighting for humanity, and standing up. I stand here honoured that I have been selected to play such a challenging but vital role in humanity's journey. The last 2 years have served as an infinite source of lessons, tribulations and triumphs. We must credit and recognise the effort, energy and sacrifice many of us have put into building this movement. I remember marching on the streets with 20 people, being kettled by police for simply exercising our right of assembly, freedom of speech and right to protest. These violent, aggressive and cowardly tactics failed to deter us. They simply fueled our fire. They simply further fueled our fire, our desire, our will to uphold and protect our liberty, democracy and future. I would like to personally thank all those who have contributed to this freedom fight in any way. Those who have faced reprisals, arrests and even prison sentences for simply exercising their rights. Julian Assange and Tara Ahmed, who are currently both in prison because they do not bow down to the system's efforts to suppress them and their rights. We stand here for them and all those who have been unjustly punished by this sinister system for acting with the purest intent. Nevertheless, the battle continues. Like I remember marching on the streets with 20 people, I'm sure many of us remember marching side by side with hundreds of thousands of our fellow freedom fighters. We stand on the right side of history, the energy, atmosphere. We stand on the right side of history. The energy, atmosphere and connection felt at these events was exhilarating. We collectively elevated our planet's frequencies, successfully combating and defeating their agenda, albeit momentarily. We demonstrated that when we stand together, we truly are unstoppable. My goal from the start was never to wake anyone up. My objective was simply to find and connect those who could see the truth, because I knew we were many, and once we find a way to connect and channel our collective energy, we would be one step closer to building a better way of living. This is where we are today. We have witnessed just how many of us there are. We've experienced how powerful our unified presence is. We are now configuring a means of applying the abundant, diverse set of resources, skills and knowledge held within our freedom movement. This is the intention with our Freedom Fair today. We want to utilize the vast network of the movement, giving every individual, organization, business the platform to broadcast, advertise and present their ideas, products, projects and businesses across the wide reach of the movement. I believe this to be a very exciting and promising prospect for us to empower, share and flourish as both individuals and a collective community. We have built an amazing, inspiring and astonishing community. We must now learn to truly harness and channel our combined energy through collaboration, cohesion and harmony. Stand up, we are the people, we are the power, we are the 99%.
Well done, Nacho. That was a brilliant speech, and I felt every single piece of that energy that he has to give, that raw energy. Every single march, that man is out, giving it his all, just like the rest of you. So, well done. Thank you, Nacho. Thank you for everything that you do. I'm really grateful. Okay, next up we have a wonderful beautiful lady, a lady that many of you will recognise, a lady who's been at the front of these marches from the very start, a lady with tenacity, a lady with courage and conviction. I want to give this lady a massive round of applause. Her name is Louise Creffield from Save Our Rights UK. I just want to say one thing. Nacho talked about people being oppressed in terms of being locked up for what they believe in and for their freedom of their rights. This lady has not only collected a £20,000 fine for these very marches that we are on, but there are 3 other offences that have just come through. If anybody tells me that this woman is not on our side, you need to go and do one, alright? Because I've had enough of people telling me that she's not right or that she's not in the movement. This lady has stuck it out through thick and thin. She hasn't stopped, she hasn't neglected her destiny and her duty to humanity. So I give her a round of applause and I invite you to as well.
Thank you, darling. Yeah, what a week, eh? Caught one day and then back out again. We don't stop. And thank you to Nacho for, what an inspiring speech. And it shows and that power that we truly do have. We are the country with the least COVID restrictions. We are the country that had the least the whole way through. We are the country where you never had to get the vaccine to get your jobs, except for care homes for a very short period of time. But we managed to overturn that. We did that, nothing else. It was being out on those streets in our hundreds of thousands. But now I call on you to stand up and keep coming and reach out and go to outreach in your local area and encourage as many people to come to these marches as possible, because now we're actually at more risk than we ever have been before. We saw the government's COVID agenda. However, now they've got something which we call Operation Overreach. Operation Overreach comprises of 10 different bills that look to steal your rights and your freedoms. So we've got the Bill of Rights. This Bill of Rights is looking to remove all of your human rights, for starters. This is their starting point, is they want to remove all human rights. They want to take away the Human Rights Act. They want to make it and legislate that you can have your rights and your children can have their rights taken away at a moment's notice if the government can justify it for the greater good. For the greater good isn't defined, and the greater good is exactly what we saw over the last 2 years. And further than that, they also want to legislate to take away the few mechanisms that we do have to currently challenge it in court. So not only will they be able to abuse our human rights at will, they will also take away any chance we have to challenge them. Now this is just a start. We then have the Online Harms Bill, which they haven't renamed the Online Safety Bill because they think it sounds nicer. It's not any nicer. And this contains a clause that says we have to be censored if we say something that is legal but harmful. Well, we all know what the government deems harmful. The government deems anything that goes against their narrative and themselves as harmful. Therefore, if the Online Safety Bill goes through with that clause in place, we can expect to be censored more than we ever have been. And this is going to cause great problems, and this is where things like Clear United will come in to play, because we'll have to find alternative platforms that won't censor us. But they will be few and far between because they will face huge repercussions in the level of fines. So then we move on, and then we've got the Schools Bill. The Schools Bill is a bill which is looking to restrict your right to parent your own children. The government wants to give itself huge amounts of power to take control of your children when they want and when they deem fit. So if your child misses a few days of school, they can take control of that child. That is the level that they are going to. And also they want to force home educating parents to jump through a ridiculous amount of hoops to the point where it becomes almost impossible. And if it's impossible, then the children will end up in schools, and we all know what's going on in schools at the moment. So that's the Schools Bill. And then, that's not enough of an impact on our children. We've got our teenagers as well. So we've got a whole cohort of 18-year-olds now who have just struggled through the last year of school, struggled through 2 years of doing their A-levels with their education interrupted time and time again. They've applied to university, they've got hope, they're excited, they've accepted their courses and they're eagerly awaiting the end of their A-levels. However, the government has decided only courses that have the graduates have a 60% chance of getting a highly skilled job within 6 months of leaving are going to be funded. This has caused universities to cancel English literature, English language, education studies, humanities. All of these courses have been cancelled with immediate effect. These students no longer have a course to go on in September, and the lecturers didn't even know about it until about 2 days ago. Further than that, if a child misses their GCSEs in their maths and English, they will no longer be eligible for student finance. This is going to make university an elitist, capitalist agenda. It is not going to be a free education, it's not going to empower our children. It is going to manipulate the whole system, and the government are going to be in control. And then we've got, what have we got next? We'll go on to the boycotts bill. So the boycotts bill, this is a bill that is, because obviously we can boycott a business, for example. If a business behaves badly, like Nestle, many people choose to boycott it. This is hugely powerful, especially when we do it in large numbers. What's more powerful is when other businesses boycott other businesses that aren't behaving ethically. However, the government doesn't want that. The government wants to force all independent businesses to do business with unethical conglomerates. So they are introducing the boycotts bill and making it illegal for them to boycott other businesses. And then we have the National Security Bill. And so this bill is going to basically treat journalists as spies, threatening to imprison them for up to 14 years if what they put out basically upsets the government. When Matt Hancock's affair was leaked, the ICO raided homes of people who worked in the office to see where the leak had come from, because they deemed